Brother, good to see you, man. Have a seat. Pleasure, man. Have a seat. Have a seat. So, Niko, Karstikko. Explain to the people what that means if you don't know already.
So Finns are not particularly known to be extroverts, and that goes into the drinking culture as well.
Correct.
So we've got an actual term which is called Karstikko, which translates into getting drunk at home alone with your underwear.
I think, who can relate to that? Karstikko? I was doing that last night, prepping for the show. Niko, you are an interesting character, are you not?
That's two of us then.
That's, hey, good lad. So, I love it. Compliments. Give them to me. Give them to me. Oh,
Let's give it up for Matt.
My friend, you built a business before the business you built today, Bob W. We'll get to that in a minute, but you and I share something in common, apart from your nice compliment there. You had an exit several years ago, and you and I did the most cliche thing that an entrepreneur does when they sell a business. What did you do?
I fucked off to Asia for 6 months.
Exactly. I did the same. I went all over. Went traveling, took some time off, right? You know, you earned the exit. But something we don't talk too often about is exits. And I'd love to I'll share my experience if you share yours. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. Yeah?
We'll see.
That's not that kind of show. It's not that kind of show. Tell us about your exit. Thanks for a little chat there from the audience there, from our band. Your exit, I mean, it was a traditional exit, or what kind of exit was it?
So, started a fitness activities marketplace in 2012.
What's it called?
Sports Sitter.
Who's heard of it? Yeah, a few hands are raised, okay.
Raised a bunch of money, expanded from the Nordics to the UK and US,
yeah,
and then sold it in 2016. And as you said, then decided to go to Asia because I was sick and tired of doing anything related to startups, had just been so all in all that time. So didn't want to read another TechCrunch article to save my life. Wanted to go somewhere where I could find yin or yang or zen or whatever I could get my hands on cheap.
Yeah, exactly. And then that took you to Asia. And then on that journey, though, so you had the exit. You're a hero. You're a success, Niko. You know, you've done it. All of us, so many of us, you know, admire that and look up to that. But it didn't last long, did it?
I mean, once you're an entrepreneur and you love what you're doing, it's you don't want to stop. I don't think. I mean, you talk to founders over here. I don't think anybody's planning their retirement anytime soon. At the end of the day, for the love of the game, which is probably the only thing we should be doing in life.
Yeah, exactly. Are your investors in the room? That was the perfect soundbite for them.
Yeah, we've got a couple of guys here as well.
So, you know, you build this business, you sell it, you have your glory days, you go off to Asia, you travel and things like that. Now, I did the same. I did exactly the same. Sold my company at the end of 2020 and decided to take a year off, which became a year and a half. And I lived in Airbnbs for 2 years. 25 or 6 months, I think. I was literally living in Airbnbs in Lisbon, in Barcelona. We all know Airbnb. Give us a wave if you know Airbnb. Yep, we've all used an Airbnb. Keep your hand up if you've had a negative Airbnb experience. You had similar, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, so maybe the backstory is, since 2012, I've been an Airbnb superhost, still am, 11 years and counting.
Wow, you must be one of the first back then.
Yeah, it was literally, I think the program was started within a year that I got started on it. And some email recently told me that puts me in like 0.5% of the world's.
Do you get the plaque like YouTube? Do you get like a gold plaque?
More like a digital plaque and more spam into my inbox. But
okay, they send more people your way.
It felt good getting it anyways. So had done that since 2012. So when I exited the last business, decided to go to Asia, I had a little side hustle of 7 apartments that I was managing in Helsinki.
Helsinki, okay.
And loved doing it, loved hosting the people, loved making the money. But I wanted to go to Asia. So I figured out that, hey, I can manage these apartments completely remotely by, you know, having chat-based customer service, 6 months of soap in the closet, good to-do list for the cleaning company, and a couple of good backup plans, including my broke at the time brother that would do anything for 40 euros. So if there was, he was my fail-safe guy.
Is he here today?
No, he's not here today. He's busy running a good business these days. Real proud of him. Side story. So you know, realize that I can manage it remotely. And then I go to Asia, and just like you, I'm a huge fan of Airbnb, an early adopter, you know, live like a local, home-like setting, kitchens, washing machines, so your life can continue on the road.
Yeah.
which is the modern way of traveling. And then I realized, why am I actually starting to spend most of my nights in the Hiltons and the Marriotts of the world? The hotels don't excite me. However, you were just like, what was happening with the Airbnb is, do you trust the host? Do you trust the pictures? Yeah, I trust the pictures, but is it in the ghetto like last time? And, what about key pickup? Am I going to have to go to that, nearby park and third tree on the left? The keys hanging somewhere in a hole next to the pigeon nest? And you're just like, oh, come on, man. And that's when you ended up looking at the market and being like, all right, hotel space is super consolidated, 7 million hotel rooms in Europe alone, and you've got 50% branded or brand affiliated, and you've got standards, 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, and big brands to begin with. And then short stays in Europe alone, 4 million, or closing in on 5 million listings, 0.5% branded.
Wow.
There's no Hiltons and Marriotts in the space.
You can see the entrepreneur in you ticking, just like Malcolm in the Middle when he's trying to do math,
You make it sound so smooth, but I don't think the process was going that smoothly in the head. But you just realize it's a massive fragmented space, and that's, at that point, we kind of knew what we wanted to do.
Yeah. So what was the next step then? I mean, did you go and, you had 7 apartments already, right? So,
yep.
So are you still in Asia at this point? Do you come back home?
So I come back home, start talking with a co-founder, and we basically realize that you've got this, we've got an opportunity to create a new category of hospitality. That's, an alternative to hotels and short stay rentals.
But let me do the math quickly. So you were away 2016 for a little bit, right? So this would have all happened if you it was a couple of years in the. So was it close to COVID? You started the business?
Yeah. Well, eventually we've started a hospitality company right before the pandemic.
Yikes!
Raised the seed right into the pandemic. Somehow kept alive and expanded to 2 countries during the pandemic. A freaking hotel company at the end of the day that runs on tech, but to oversimplify, and then of course an economic downturn as well. So it's been a bit of a
rocky start. When you had just launched pre-COVID hospitality business, people staying in other cities they don't live in, live like a local style, optimized, better living. Did you just think, let's pause this for 2 years, just wait to see what happens? Did you decide to give up, or what made you carry on?
There's most founders, you don't really have that real rationale of why you're doing things, but it's always a mix of greed and fear. And when the shit hits the fan, it's the fear of failing, and when things are going good, it's the greed of changing the world and getting all the benefits and the excitement out of that. So I think that was fear out of fucking it up.
Fear of fucking up. That keeps most people alive, I think.
So our first property, if we oversimplify, we're a hybrid of a hotel and an Airbnb.
Yeah, talk me through. I love to do this. I'm a user. Here we go. It's me. I'm staying here at the moment. Very kindly put in a hotel by the Latitude59 team. I travel a lot, so come on, Niko, sell me. Sell me. Sell all of us.
You're putting me on the spot now. Bob W is a slicker alternative to hotels and random rentals. Effectively, we're a new hybrid category of hospitality. That's the best of the hotel experience, the quality, the scale, the commercial property. So it's a legal Airbnb in most cases, and the services, but not in the building, and the authenticity and the utility of a short stay apartment. So you got everything you need for 1 to 90 nights. Now that's all packaged up into this affordable luxury brand called Bob W. And Bob W is the best host you've ever had, times 10. Unbelievably, he's, the whole experience is built around Bob. So, unbelievably, this guy's clearly well-educated, but a man of the people. He speaks 8 languages today, 9 starting next week as we open up our first apart hotel in Amsterdam. So he's learned Dutch overnight, pretty incredible. And he knows the neighborhood better than the local concierge. And yet, unbelievably, unlike a normal host, this guy doesn't sleep, doesn't take a lunch break, doesn't need a piss, answers in 1 minute, 20 seconds on average. And
are you Bob W?
Allegedly. I can't confirm or deny.
It's like the Stig in Top Gear, if you guys know that one. Who knows?
But that's it. So it's built around this, for the next generation of traveler, around this perfect host. And of course, under the hood, we make the whole thing run on tech. So on the one hand, We never screw things up. We don't need operational people or front desk people in the building. We get cleaners apps, and they roam around the building and do the right thing and do even quality control themselves by forced photos and what have you. On the other side, we elevate the experience with that amazing Bob and marketplace and self-service app that our generation loves. And end result is, I guess, we're across 8 countries, and we are Europe's at 4.8 out of 5 customer satisfaction, 2021, 2022, we're Europe's best-ranked international hospitality operating brand.
Would you? Would anyone stay there?
Who's staying at Bob right now?
Who's staying at Bob? Is anyone staying at Bob right now? You're staying at Bob right now. Fantastic. No, you're not. You're shaking your finger. No, I'm not staying at Bob. You are Bob. We weren't calling you.
I'm just shocked that one of our investors is not staying at Bob right now.
Is that one of your investors?
Yeah.
And you even have the investor discount. What discount do we get today? Huh? Matt?
We are friends. You can use that code.
We
just
are friends.
Between us.
Just between us. We are friends. What does it get us?
It gets you a hefty discount.
A hefty discount, 1%. You're welcome, everyone. I negotiated that for you live. So now we're backtrack timing now. So yeah, 2020, we kick things off. We raised that seed round, right?
Yeah.
We're 3 years later. Where are you today in the journey? How many locations?
So we've got just shy of 3,000 contracted apartments across Europe.
3,000 apartments.
Yeah, with currently, as of yesterday, live with 30 apart hotels across 9 countries, 14 cities. And we grew 8x revenues in 2022, best-ranked hospitality operator in Europe, and on track to be profitable by the end of this year.
Profitability is a trend we're seeing on the show. Is that representative of the times, actually?
I think so. I mean, I didn't know what even EBITDA meant a year ago, but apparently now is the cool thing to know.
I think this is incredible. How can we help you on the journey with Bob W? How can we help Bob, actually, Niko?
I mean, Bob's a great guy. He's very mission-driven and very focused on sustainability, which is something in our DNA as well. So we're always looking for landlords and real estate investors who want to get amazingly sustainable properties to us, because that's the best way to do the job, or do the reductions. But what you guys can do is check out what the future of hospitality looks like. Go on bobw.co. Book your next spot, whether it's one night, a week, or a month-long relocation, or a corporate apartment for your colleague.
Niko, next time I travel, which is next week, I'm going to check up any locations in Munich yet?
Yes, we do.
You do?
Welcome
all right.
aboard.
And we are friends?
We are friends.
We are friends. Check the discount out. Next time you stay anywhere, Bob W is the place. Niko, you're a hero. Last question. You've built a business before. You're building a business again. Niko then, Niko now. If they met, how would they be different?
The other guy worked way too hard and burnt himself out several times. Now probably being a little bit more mindful of your limitations, your skill sets, and also what you're shit at, so that you focus on the right things and get the right people around you who are amazing at doing stuff that you're crap at.
Admit your weaknesses, hire the people that have strengths in those areas. And it sounds like you could use Kadri's product earlier. You saw her on the show?
Amen.
I think so. Everybody, Niko from Bob W! Niko, my boy! Thank you, man. That was awesome. Thank you so much.